Ryan, are you ready to do this, man?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Welcome everyone to the Bar Stories Project. Patrick, this is something that we started thinking about, what is it, over a year ago?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited to launch it. I hope you're excited too.
Yeah, I am. I think I'm hopeful that this will be really helpful to a lot of people.
Well, let's start from the beginning. How did this project start from your recollection?
Sure. So, I mean, you and I are friends from law school, but we both were law clerks at the Pima County Superior Court because we had both unsuccessfully taken the July bar exam before that. So I think that's kind of, we were, like I said, we're friends from law school, but we, I think, sort of formed a deeper friendship on that shared experience of failing and then trying again and then trying to, pass and figure out how to do that. So yeah, it was about a year ago. We were just talking about what it's like not to pass and what to do going forward. And we had a really good conversation.
And then that conversation, it branched out into other conversations with other attorneys and judges. And these conversations were so inspiring. I heard so many stories, compelling stories from attorneys and judges who had overcame their bar failures and went on to become amazing attorneys. And I felt in that moment that I wasn't alone, that there were people out here to help me. And without that, Patrick, to be honest, I was going to give up on this. After failing the bar twice, I was ready to give up. I was ready to find a new career because I just thought that it couldn't happen. But with hearing about all these stories and forming this community, this bond that I had with you, with everyone else that wanted to support me in this path, it kept me going. And I wanted to share this platform on a larger stage for other people to hear, because it was great for me to hear it and for me to benefit, but I wanted to share this as much as possible. And I think we both had the same vision, and here we are.
And so yeah, that's basically what this series is Chuck having conversations with people. He's the host, and he has different conversations with people who were not successful in passing the bar exam on their first try. He talks about what that was like and what they did to eventually pass. I'm on one of the episodes. My hope is that people watching this, whether they've not yet taken the bar exam or if they've taken it and not passed it, that they can gain something from this, whether it's strategies maybe on how to do better the next time, or at the very least just the security of knowing that you're not the only person in that situation. I'm hopeful that people can get something out of this, and I think they will.
So Patrick, this journey is going to be great. I'm excited to launch it. I'm excited to bring these stories to the people who need it, because I know that there are students like us out there. We weren't like a shoe-in to pass the bar. We had to overcome this huge obstacle of feeling defeat, failing the bar, and then coming back, having that resilience, having that perseverance to do it again and believe in our abilities. And ultimately we both in our own timelines, in our own paths, we both sort of scaled that mountain. And now you're working as an attorney. I'm getting licensed here very soon. The story, this is going to be an amazing season, and we're hoping to carry it on into next season as well. And let's give them a little taste. Let's give them a little, sprinkle, a little tease about what they're going to see this season on the Bar Stories Project YouTube channel.
I'm so thankful that you reached out to me, Chuck, and I'm glad that you're doing this. I wish something like this would have existed when I was in law school.
If this is helpful to even just one or two, even just a couple people, then it's worth it totally. Yeah.
This is gonna sound really crazy, but
I remember the first 2 minutes of the essay, I looked up, some dude just packed up and left.
When you place all of your hope into this one outcome that obviously is best case scenario, but for a lot of people it doesn't pan out that way, or at least not the way they expect it to, it comes as kind of a shock, because you're like, well, now what?
Yeah, I remember that debacle very well.
But yeah, I remember looking through the list, because they just give you a maybe 2 or 3 page list of all of the names of the people who pass, and that's how you find out, and you have to like look for your name. And I remember not seeing mine, and then like going back up, I'm like, oh, I missed it.
We're gonna have to go back to the Trail of Tears. We're gonna have to go back to the Trail of Tears. I've never really said this publicly, but I had doubts about wanting to continue.
I like didn't know if I should be sad or mad or what. I definitely cried. I was like, this sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it was totally a crappy feeling. I felt like a letdown.
I remember being completely devastated. I remember calling my dad in tears, and I was like, I'm not doing this again. Like, I don't even want to be a lawyer. I hate this. Like, I did all of this work, and here I am. For what?
It was just infuriating. And I think I had this visceral sort of like screaming like, mother, you know, just I wanted to just cuss and have all of that sort of, all of that angst. You wanted to be physically released.
I did feel alone, and I felt isolated, and I don't blame anybody in my life because everyone around me was doing their best to be supportive and loving and kind, you know, like.
I took the test and I actually scored less than the first time.
Yeah,
like I had
same.
a wider gap. I didn't score as high the second time.
I felt like I was just starting my career and then I was set back, but it was better in the long run because I had to invest in myself in order to invest in my career. It's also important that the more you talk about it, the easier it is to sort of grasp and move on.
Don't forget how you got here. You know, you got here because you're smart, because you work hard.
Regardless of what happens, you've already like come really far and done a lot of cool, impressive things.
So,
and
guys, I'm working late night to make this happen for all you students. I know you're grateful, but just know I'm putting in work for the next generation.
I think if out of context, me saying like, I saw my name on the internet and I started sobbing, I feel like I sound like a crazy person, but like, so I think that's important to keep in mind, you know? I'm not a crazy person.
So here's what you're gonna. We're gonna edit the hell out
That's
of it.
okay.
Let's show them what.